Hello, welcome to our channel for rprogramming. In this video, we will talk about generating vector and matrix of random numbers in R. So the function sample, you can use it to create a random sequence from specified value, and several functions start with R. For example, rnorm, you can create normal variables, and runif for uniform distribution, and rbinom and rpors will generate binomial and poisson random numbers. And you can also combine these functions with a matrix to just create a matrix of random numbers. So next we will show examples in RStudio. So first, you can use sample function to create a random sequence from, for example, 1 to 10, and with replacement false. So this is a sequence of 10 numbers, because we set size 10. So 10 numbers actually is a random sequence from numbers 1 to 10. Can see also replacement is false, so no double occurrence of any number. So next time we will show if we use replacement is true, so we set size is 15. So 15 numbers will be generated from sequence 1 to 10 with replacement true. So now these 15 numbers, can see 10 occurred 2 times, and 5 also 2 times, and 4, 3 all occur 2 times. With sample function, you can also set a probability sequence which represents the corresponding frequency probability to this sequence specified. So here means the relative frequency probabilities for 1 to 5 of this probability vector. So we set size 200 to generate 200 such numbers, and with replacement true. So this result includes 200 random numbers from 1 to 5 with replacement true. Can also use a table function to show the counts of values. Can see the counts of each number from 1 to 5 almost the same as the relative probability or relative frequency from this vector. So next, we'll show how to generate random numbers from probability distribution. So first, we will generate 10 random numbers from standard normal distribution, so which means the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is 1. So these 10 numbers from standard normal distribution. And with rnorm, you can also set the mean and standard deviation value. Here we set the mean equals 32 and standard deviation 2. So these 10 numbers come from a normal distribution with mean 32 and a standard deviation 2. You can also generate a matrix from sample 1 to 32, this sequence, and with replacement false, and we then transform these numbers into a matrix with 4 rows. So the matrix with 4 rows, 8 columns actually includes this 32 random number. You can also create a matrix of random numbers from normal distribution with mean 32, standard deviation, then transform into a matrix of 10 rows, 5 columns. So here is a matrix of 10 rows, 5 columns. So next we can use U and if to generate random numbers from uniform distribution. And by default, R uniform will generate random numbers from uniform distribution between 0 and 1. So these 25 numbers come from this uniform distribution. You can also set a specified minimum and a maximum value of a uniform distribution. So these 10 random numbers come from a uniform distribution with minimum value 3 and a maximum value 8. So next, we will show how to generate random numbers from binomial distribution. So we know binomial distribution model the random process of n trials. Here, for example, size is 10, so which means this experiment will take 10 such trial. This kind of trial called Bernoulli process, Bernoulli trial. And the result is 0 and 1, or true or false, or success or fail. So binary result. Then we set a probability 0.2, which means the success rate. For example, 10 of 10 trials, we will model how many success. So this number is called binomial random number with a constant success rate. So use R binom 8 size 10 0.2 for the probability, which means we will generate 8 random numbers, and these numbers model the random number of success in a binomial experiment. And this binomial experiment includes 10 trials and with success rate 0.2 for each trial. So you can see the result is 8 discrete number, so which means this number are the random success times from binomial distribution with n equals 10 and probability equals 0.2. And you can see this 8 number vector 2 occurred 5 times. Because binomial distribution has a mean value equals n times p. So the mean value is 2. So it is reasonable that 2 occurred more frequently than other values. And of course, you can also generate a matrix coming from random numbers from binomial distribution. So here we generate 100 random number from binomial distribution of size 10, success rate 2. And we also transform a matrix with 20 rows. So this matrix, 20 rows and 5 columns, actually contain 100 such random number from binomial distribution. So next function is for random number generation from Poisson distribution. So Poisson distribution actually model the success time from a Poisson process. And a Poisson process is model how many events occur during a constant time period. So for example, we model the constant occurring times for a fixed time period is 10. So we call the mean is 10. Then we model such 20 random numbers of how many success times occur. So you can see this result will get 20 random numbers. Each number represents one time experiment from Poisson process with mean number 10. So for example, in one day, there are 10 telephone coming in, 10 telephone calls coming in. So each day, this represents each day the coming telephone call numbers. This is also a discrete random number. Then you can also transform matrix for 100 Poisson random numbers from mean equals 10 to a matrix of 20 rows, 5 columns. So next we will show in the random number generation, if you want to generate random numbers same for each time, then you can set a seed just before you do the random number generation. So here we set a seed 1, 2, 3, 4. The line, then just before you run the rnorm function 10. So this lecture, we will remember this lecture for the 10 random numbers from a normal distribution. So next time we also set a seed 124, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we run again and show the random number. So you can see these two random number series are exactly the same. But if we, for example, do not add set seed before we do the random number generation, so we run again and set it to a new vector to do the same operation. So the result may not be the same as before, right? And you can also download the source files from this GitHub link, and more videos on rprogramming will be uploaded later on YouTube soon. Thanks for watching and subscribing our channel.